All right, buckle up, listeners, because this deep dive, we're going deep, really deep, into a corner of construction most people, well, they don't even think about. We're talking about the folks behind those huge EE pile drivers.
Right.
The ones laying down the bedrock, the foundation for skyscrapers, bridges, anything that needs to,
Yeah, gotta start somewhere.
exactly.
Yeah.
Got to start strong, right? So we're going to break down the pile driving hammer operator career path. What it takes, the good, maybe not so good.
It's a fascinating one, that's for sure.
And we've got RoleCatcher to thank because their resources are top-notch this time around.
Oh, absolutely.
Career guides, how to nail that interview, even a peek behind the curtain, how AI is changing the whole job hunting landscape. I mean, wild stuff.
It really is. You know, what always gets me about this line of work, it's easy to miss. Like, we see these amazing buildings, these bridges, right? But we forget what's going on underneath.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. But that foundation, that's everything.
Could not agree more. And it's not like, oh, I'll grab a shovel. This is serious business, right? We're talking heavy machinery, massive forces.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking equipment that can drive those piles hundreds of feet down into the earth. And it's not always easy conditions.
No kidding. So you got to have the skills, but also the awareness, right?
It's problem solving on a massive scale. They're dealing with soil composition, weather, the specific engineering needs of each project. It's not just one size fits all.
So brawn and brains. Got it. Now, one thing that caught my eye in the RoleCatcher guides was this whole GPS-guided pile driving.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what I think it is?
It's incredible. Even in these trades that have been around forever, technology is changing the game. They're using GPS, lasers, all to make sure those piles are driven with pinpoint accuracy.
Which I'm guessing is kind of important when you've got a skyscraper on the line.
Critical. The structural integrity of the whole thing relies on that precision.
Wow. Okay, so not just operating heavy machinery, but also on the cutting edge of tech. That's got to come with some perks, salary-wise, right?
Oh, absolutely. The skills it takes, the risks involved, it usually means a higher salary than average. Experienced operators, they can make upwards of, and this is from the guys, insert specific average salary range from the source material per year.
Okay, so earning potential, check.
Mhm.
Cool tech dot check. But let's be real, it can't all be, smooth sailing. What about the downsides? What are the tough parts of this job?
Well, it is physically demanding, long hours, sometimes tough weather conditions, and of course there's always a certain level of risk,
I
right?
can only imagine. Safety must be priority number one.
Absolutely. Construction sites are strictly regulated, strict safety protocols. Operators go through rigorous training, not just to use the equipment safely, but to manage the risks that come with the job.
Right, makes sense. So we've talked challenges, skills, but what's it actually like day to day? If I was a pile driving hammer operator, what am I doing?
You know, that's the thing. There's no typical day, which is pretty
That's
cool.
interesting.
Yeah, every project is different. Every site has its own quirks. But generally speaking, an operator can expect to.
Which I guess keeps things exciting. But let's break it down a little. RoleCatcher's guides, they lay out these career stages, right? You start entry level,
Mhm.
and you can climb all the way to senior operator. So what's that path actually look like? Like, how do you go from zero to, pile driving hero?
It's a journey. It's not like you just, boom, hop in the driver's seat on day one with $1 million piece of equipment.
Right, I could imagine there's some training involved.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of operators, they start as apprentices, assistants, learning from the pros.
So it's very hands-on, working your way up.
Exactly. You're starting with the fundamentals, how the equipment works, safety, safety, safety. I mean, that's huge.
Makes sense.
Even things like, cleaning, maintaining the machinery. It's about showing you're reliable, detail-oriented, eager to learn.
Got to earn those stripes before you're trusted with a skyscraper's foundation, right?
Exactly. And once you've put in the time, learned the ropes, that's when things get really interesting. You move up to junior operator.
So that's when you get to actually,
Get your hands dirty. Or, well, maybe not literally.
right.
But yeah, you're starting to operate under supervision, of course, but you're positioning the piles, working the hammer. You're really getting a feel for it.
That's got to be an amazing feeling, like seeing the progress, knowing you're laying the groundwork for something huge.
There's definitely a sense of pride. You're building something tangible, something that'll be around for years. A bridge, a skyscraper. You're connecting communities, shaping skylines.
That's awesome. And I bet that just grows, that sense of accomplishment
Yeah.
as you move up the ranks. RoleCatcher mentioned senior operators can even specialize, like in underwater pile driving. What is that even like?
Underwater is.
Yeah,
It's a whole other world.
Right.
Literally.
I can imagine.
You're dealing with pressure, visibility is limited, a whole new set of problems to solve. It takes specialized training, equipment. It's the elite level.
Sounds intense.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing pretty dangerous.
It definitely comes with risks, which is why that experience is so valuable. Senior operators who can handle underwater work. High demand, and that's reflected in their paychecks.
Makes sense. Yeah. So you've got this whole career ladder. You can specialize, really find your niche. But speaking of getting ahead, those RoleCatcher interview guides, those seem like must-reads for anyone wanting to get into this.
Oh, for sure. Especially now, right? Job market's always changing. They've got example questions, tips on how to really sell your skills, even salary negotiation advice.
And here's where it gets really wild. They're using AI now, built right into their platform, to give job seekers an edge.
It's amazing how much AI is changing things, even in fields you wouldn't expect, like construction.
Right? It feels very futuristic. Like they've got AI that looks at job descriptions, helps you tweak your resume to match what employers want.
It's like having a personal career coach in your pocket, helping you every step of the way. And it really highlights something crucial for this line of work: adaptability.
Adaptability. How so?
Well, think about it. These operators are already using high-tech stuff, GPS, all that. They're constantly adjusting to new equipment, new challenges on site, new environments. That ability to learn quickly, to be flexible, essential. And as tech keeps evolving, it's only going to be more important.
So it's like, yeah, you got to know the machinery, but you got to be ready to roll with the punches too, mentally. That's really cool that this kind of job, it's almost like training for a tech-driven future.
Exactly, exactly. And RoleCatcher, they really hit on that too, how those skills, they transfer. Problem solving, being a team player, working precisely when things are crazy, that's valuable anywhere, right?
Totally. It's almost like the more tech we have, the more those core skills, the human stuff, becomes even more important. We've gone from giant hammers to like the future of work here. Anything else we should hit before we wrap this up?
You know, I think one thing people don't always grasp is the scale, the sheer size of some of these projects.
No, right.
Yeah, it's not just, putting down a foundation for your house. These operators, they're part of building bridges that go for miles, skyscrapers that are like touching the clouds, offshore wind farms powering whole cities.
Well, yeah, you're right. It's easy to forget that.
Yeah.
It's not just a hammer. It's being part of something massive, literally building the future.
Exactly. And that sense of purpose, that you're contributing to something that matters, something lasting. That's huge for people in this line of work.
That's a great point. So for our listener out there, maybe they're intrigued by this, by the power, the skill, all of it. What's the one thing, the takeaway you want them to walk away with?
Next time you walk past a construction site, maybe you look up at a skyscraper, just, take a second. Think about what's going on underground. That's the skill, the hard work, the impact of the pile-driving hammer operator. They're the ones who make it all possible.
Love it. Building from the ground up, literally. This was fantastic. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, everyone. We'll catch you next time.